Hello everyone, welcome to Ludo History. Oh good, we do have desktop audio. That's good to know. Okay, welcome. Zoe, Stefan, it is good to see you. You were catching up on memes in the server instead of, doing, actual work. Well, that's a mood. And this dude, 12 months at tier 1 subscription. Celebration of me fighting off one disease. Let's see him playing a game where he fights off another. Yeah, I, gave myself mild food poisoning by doing the oh-so-intelligent thing of, leaving milk on the counter. Oh, it was fine. It was very mild. It was just enough that I was not able to stream on Sunday. But Wolfie, Magistrissa, hello. You are ill-prepared for swarming rat piles, but you will soldier through. Yeah. Content warning for this game. Rats. Also dead people. Also rats. But, we'll at least have a lot of textile history going on in here. I already know that the material culture in this game is going to be super duper rich, so I think there's potentially quite a lot fun to look forward to there. It looks like we are probably also going to have at least a few technical difficulties. Just looking at this, I'm seeing a couple of alerts starting to pop up, so hopefully... yeah. Hopefully it will not be too bad. If it is, let me know and we'll see what we can do. As usual, starting a new game, I have no way to predict exactly how badly it's going to trash my PC until we actually start it. So, hopefully it'll go okay. I like rats as pets, but rats are much like butterflies and they're very cute as individuals and absolutely terrifying if there's more like 10. Yeah, it's more like 10,000 in this game, so, yeah. Frame rate already seems not great. I was afraid of that. We'll see. I'm not getting alerts that I'm dropping frames, it's just looking like I'm a little bit behind. So, we'll see how it holds up when we actually get into the game itself. Requiem! Anyway, I am super excited though, because as we know, we played A Plague Tale Innocence way back in 2020, and it has now been a couple of years, and they have released the sequel. So this is, I think, one of our first real proper sequel playthroughs for big major historical games. Oh. Skip frames detected. 70% over the last 2 minutes. Chat, type 1 if this is survivable. Type 2 if this is looking really unpleasant on your end. Because, yeah, I don't want this to be an unpleasant viewing experience, but I'm not sure what I'll be able to do to really make this a ton better. One. Okay, that's good. That's all good. I'm glad to see that. Oh, stop it. I'm going to erase this because we're going to start a brand new game. Yes. Please, let me erase this. Hooray. May change when the actual game is doing stuff, yeah. I'm aware the game is tiny, I'm still doing setup stuff. I just want to futz around in the settings before we get going. Chromatic aberration low, graphics presets are turned all the way down. Turn off contact shadows. Texture quality low. Alright, yeah, that's about as performance mode as I can get it, so hopefully this will be okay. Display subtitles, yes. 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 Perfect. Alright. Accessibility things are set up, so let's go. Right. Introduction, and let's get underway. So, hello everyone. Welcome to Ludo History, and welcome to our historical playthrough of A Plague Tale Requiem. I am super excited for this game. I thoroughly enjoyed Plague Tale Innocence. I think it did some really fun stuff with how it's portraying the history of the Second Plague pandemic. And what we've seen promised from this game looks extremely exciting. So, I'm excited to dig into it with you all. If you do not know, I am actually a professional medieval historian. I have a graduate degree in medieval Norse studies, but a bachelor's degree in broader medieval studies. And so, the Plague Pandemic is something I'm actually quite comfortable talking about. So we're going to dig into some of the history, dig into some of the amazing resources that have come out in the last few years for the study of the Black Death and its history, and see what the game is actually doing, taking this mid-14th century setting and adding, you know, a fantasy gargantuan numbers of rat slayer on top of it. If you enjoy this, the VOD will be on Twitch for 2 weeks and on YouTube after that. But if you really enjoy this, do make sure you consider following and subscribing here on Twitch. It helps a lot, helps us keep going, and now we're in the big season of 3 back-to-back big historical games. This one, God of War Ragnarok, and Pentiment. This is a great time to consider supporting the channel. Without further ado, though, let's click over and get started. Oh boy. Seagulls are menaces. Chat, we are in full agreement. Seagulls are the rats of the air, and they are total menaces. Alright, let's go. Difficulty, normal. Perfect. Listening mode, high fidelity, great. Yes, yes, yes. Let's go. Oh boy. Chapter 1. Under a New Sun. Oh, you just realized that that wasn't water, but just a quadrillion rats. Oh no, Zoe. Oh no. June 1349. Holy shit, this game looks pretty. Again?
We'll make it! Oh no! The tower! He's coming!
Hello.
Bloody brambles! You're going too fast for me.
Come on, Sorcerer, catch us!
Hey, slow down. You'll exhaust our villain.
This is your tower. It's evil.
Doesn't he ever get tired? I really should get back to studying.
Aww.
Come on, we had a long journey today. Please, Mother said to try to exhaust him. Be brave, Sorcerer. Your fight is far from over.
Adorable. So,
Your mother's going to wonder where we are.
these are all characters from the previous game.
Right to stretch your legs.
Our hero, Amicia Deru. Her brother, Hugo, also known as the Plot MacGuffin. Literally everything bad in A Plague Tale Innocence is accidentally the result of Hugo having a magic disease. Magic Plot MacGuffin disease. And then our ally, best friend, etc., Lucas, who is an alchemist in training. And our setting, well, we were set Kingdom of France 1349. I think we can get more specific than that. I think we are in, I mean, based off the trees, I would suggest we are extreme southern France. But man, is this pretty. Let's start with, like, Amicia's character design, because it kinda rules. So, right, firstly, I love the colors. For both of them. I adore these colors. Right, this dark blue and green pattern, and then the same green and yellow in a stitched woolen cloak. Phenomenal. Those are 2 or 3 eminently plausible colors to have vegetable dyes in this period, and it looks great. For her, like, doublety thing, this is not how quilting in this period works. It looks like it's a kind of quilted coat of plates. You can see some metal studs in it, which suggests that there's, like, plating tucked underneath these layers, but it's also very clearly quilted. And that's cool. That's extremely cool, because the quilting is kind of standard practice for fabric armors in this period, which is awesome. We like that. In the same vein, right, we really like Lucas's stitching. The fact that his sleeves are actually laced together. I mean, it feels almost earlier. He's not being very helpful by continuously turning away. But, right, his tunic almost feels older than the 14th century to me. But it still is great. Right, being laced together, with then a brocaded trim on the edges of the sleeves, the collar, and the waist. It's great. Yeah, 1349, to be precise. Obviously, there's parts of this that are extremely silly. Right, while I'm okay with Amicia having her hair uncovered because she is unmarried, she still would be wearing a dress. Let's be honest. There is a 110% chance that she would be wearing a dress. She might also have a funny hat. Lucas might also have a funny hat, but that's fine. Right? This is clearly, as you're saying, right, the hair is ultra modern, they look like they're from a medieval fantasy kids show, and you're totally okay with that. Exactly. I am equally okay with that. But man, like, we're in the Pyrenees, aren't we? Right, I would like...
A castle.
Yeah, why are you surprised? Sorry. This is the 14th century. We're, like, near... I would say probably near Andorra. Why would you be surprised that there's a castle? This area has an enormous density of castles.
Let's go see.
Oh, well.
Right then. Time to run.
Oh. Okay. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Hugo, you're gonna sweat like a hog.
I am sweating like a hog.
It's good for you.
Theoretically, yes. Zoom.
I like your new home.
It's a castle.
All right.
The castle is...
This is invading my castle.
Oh no.
Yes, and I'm going to turn you into a beetle.
Oh no.
Amicia, he's too powerful. We have to hide.
Yes.
I'll count to 10. Then I'll come for you, King Hugo, and
Amicia the Amazon.
Ha!
so go now.
Come, Amicia the Amazon. We have to find a good hiding place.
I'll stand by your side, my king.
Quick, quick.
Don't forget to breathe, my king. Good. Let's keep an eye on him now.
Yes. He's coming, he's coming.
Uh-huh. Sneaky, sneaky.
I smell fear.
Oh, Lucas, you're being wholesome.
Perfidious among the perfidious. Swear to make a stew out of your toes and eat it.
He's horrible.
He's being delightful.
Aha.
Oh,
You are resourceful, but aha! Who could be lurking over there?
shh.
You won't stay hidden
You know
for
what?
long.
We should hunt him too.
Trail of your
Oh, yes.
Oh no.
It's only a matter of time before I get you. My senses
Your senses are bad, so don't mind me.
You've got no hope of escape. Goodness.
Aww.
So scared.
Fair enough. Well, I'll get back to studying now.
Lucas.
Well, if I want to become an alchemist,
But you are an alchemist.
Aww.
I'm still your mother's apprentice.
All right, go and study. We'll stay a little longer.
Right. Goodbye.
Come, let's see the rest of the castle.
Let's see the rest of this castle.
Wish, good king.
Aw, this is adorable.
Lucas stayed with us.
Me too. We wouldn't be here if not for him.
True. He did kind of save us more than once. This is adorable. And I do, like,
Oh, can I climb those rocks?
Of course. Just don't fall.
I never fall.
Yes,
Yes.
sure.
King Hugo patrols the ramparts of his great wall.
What can you see from up there?
My kingdom.
Is it prosperous?
It was, but then Lucas attacked.
aw.
Ah, yes. The infamous sorcerer.
Oh, a river. It's the sea.
Let's patrol there.
It's the sea? Is it actually the sea or is it a river? It's just a river. Okay.
Very pretty.
Yes, it
So?
is.
This is where my kingdom stops.
That branch is your frontier.
Yes.
Why not?
Look out to Amicia the Amazon. Enemy ships coming. They're going to attack us.
Oh no! What do we do?
Stay at the frontier and sink them before they pass.
Got it! My mighty sling is yours!
Here comes the sorcerer's army.
I see them! We'll save your land, my king! One
Woof.
Yes. Keep going. More ships are coming.
No foul magic will defile this kingdom!
Only good magic. Yes, the king applauds.
Let them come! I'll crush them! Many tried to invade us,
But we pushed them back.
because we are the House of Daroon!
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Hello.
hello!
Hello. I was passing by and I heard your sling.
Oh, it could be pretty loud, yes.
I wanted to ask you. Can I play with you?
Yes, but who are you?
I'm Tona. I live nearby.
Aw.
All right. We're Hugo and Amicia.
Can you shoot, Tona? Of course I can. Great. I'm the king and she's my captain and we're fighting a sorcerer's army. I'll fire the cannon then.
Now let's fight!
Wow. You're a fraction. You're good.
3,
Coming.
4,
Sinking. Our defenses are too strong.
5, 6. Flawless.
Tona, keep firing the cannon. Yes. We're kicking their asses. Their evil asses.
Oh dear.
Hey, calm down. You're starting to speak the devil's tongue.
It's war. There's no manners.
Oh dear.
All right.
Look at them already.
Tona.
They are already blaspheming. Tragic.
Here comes the cannonball.
Oh no, Hugo, take cover. All right, boys. You won. They surrendered.
Surrender accepted.
This is adorable.
I should go now. I'm late for work. You were? Yes, at my father's farm with my brothers.
Are you all right?
I must go. Bye.
Good luck then.
Goodbye to now.
He does not seem alright.
He was nice.
Come along, my king. The war is over.
He was,
Keep
but
along this river.
You sung so many. You're a great captain.
I got an
He was
achievement.
Nice.
He was, yes.
But something's bothering me. You know, something about the randomly bailing. We should all be concerned. It is 1349. Our summation of the previous game.
I'd like to have a friend like him.
I know. But we'll settle down soon, and you'll make friends.
You're sure?
As soon as we know how you're doing.
That could be a long time.
Not this time. This time is different. I know it.
I hope so.
Isn't fashion historians in the chat, isn't Hugo... Oh, you guys can't see it. Hugo's wearing a penannular brooch. Isn't that an earlier period? I need you to not be, like... That's probably the best I can do there. Like, vastly earlier, like... I think that's an, like, early English find. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but it's got, like, 2 spirals on the end of it, and then a big ring brooch. Spooky. Very Renfair of it. Good job. But that is okay. I mean, the overall aesthetic of this is going to be very Renfair-y. I mean, we can see that already here. Like, this castle, stylistically, is actually only... What? Between 100 and 150 years old? And probably on the younger side of that? Because stone doesn't become common for castles
We'll have to climb
in...
this. You pull me up this time.
What?
Just kidding. I'll help you.
You're too heavy anyway.
Huh, how dare you?
One day I'll be able to.
Right, stone doesn't start to be commonly used in France for castles until the 13th century. And something of this scale, right, you're looking closer to the end of that century rather than the beginning. So, the fact that this is all ruined like this, and we have this vast, like, ruined wall town,
Castle is huge.
like,
What do you say?
either...
All right, I'm ready.
Now, charge!
Either we go, hey, this is all Roman, in which case I don't believe you, or we say this is peculiarly ruined for this period, in which case it's for the vibes. Right, if you say this is Roman, I just don't believe you.
The gate is closed, Captain. What do we do?
Let me see.
Well, no, it's solidly locked.
Coming. Sneaky. Here. Yes, it's a good plan.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Ooh, I feel evil around us.
Oh dear.
It's a bit dark.
Come on, my king. They don't expect us to sneak in.
Yes.
They're also playing in a way that is very much, right, reminiscent of modern children playing fantasy medieval.
The sorcerer's men are close.
Really?
Right, like... Oh, ow.
Are you hurt?
No, but I want to go back now.
I agree. That's enough for today.
Yes, Amicia. There are food and clothes.
People live here.
We've broken their ceiling. Maybe they heard.
Let's just be careful for now.
What?
You smell that? It smells like a fireplace.
Yes.
Well, oops. We very much ruined our ceiling. I'd say we're not in good shape. What kind of space is it? I mean, obviously there's they have a butchered farm animal, probably a pig. But has been sitting rancid for way too long, which is a concerning sign.
What?
It's all burned.
It's recent. These baskets. They're beehives.
They are beehives.
Why are they burned?
I don't know. Let's be discreet and get out.
Maybe
Well-
it was an accident?
People.
Yeah. If this is an accident, we've got a problem. Obviously, fires do happen by accident a lot in this period. But, yeah.
Amicia!
Hey!
What's going on?
How many of you are there?
Wait! We didn't mean to trespass. We fell here by accident. We'll leave if you show us how.
Lies.
I swear. I don't know what's happening here, but we have nothing to do with it.
Lies! You bloody thieves! I'll cut you to pieces!
Run!
Come back here!
We need an exit!
The door!
No, no, no! Come! Here!
He's still behind us!
Keep an eye out for an exit!
This was one time too many. Don't think we'll let you go this time.
Through here! He won't follow.
Quick!
Right. You bloody thieves. Trying to steal our home.
Get down, quick!
Get it! Stop! Leave it to me! You! No! Should have thought of that before you lot stole from us! Goodness, Matthias! That's how we make sure they don't come back.
I lost two, a boy and a girl. You didn't see them?
No. No, that man on the ground's the last we got.
Well, kill them if you find them.
Well,
Yes, quick!
They're crazy.
What a mess. Now what use do you have for our meat and honey, huh? You're dead.
Let's cross now.
They're going to kill us.
No, because they won't see us.
if you stop talking, it'll be better.
Come! They got Grandad pretty bad.
Let me see at the house.
No, Grandpa! Oh, looks bad. Dad will be back from the market any time now. Yes. Watch over him for now.
We could hide here.
They find us. We have to keep going.
Uh-huh.
It's a bloodbath. Lord. I just stand there whining. There may still be some of them around. Go help the others.
I don't feel well, Matthias.
Don't give a damn.
It's... whatever.
You won't move. I'll handle it. That toolbox. It'll make a noise.
It's the last time they'll come here. I tell you.
You don't have to kill all of them, you lunatic.
Steady.
Just needed goddamn work. Someone's still hiding.
Go away. Let's be quick. We get back to the cart. We get away from this place.
Mummy will be so angry.
We just won't tell her. We'll leave as soon as we get to the cart anyway.
What's that little shit now? You're supposed to stand guard.
Yep.
This is all on you.
We're going to have to climb up. Quietly.
Get your damned ass over here right now.
Hey, Zoe, you called it.
I've heard of you.
This is where Donar lives.
Maybe he's still awake.
I hope so.
Yep. What a shock. What an absolute shock.
Let's try through here.
At least they didn't damage these ones.
Wait.
God, they're very much leaning into the folk horror of this, aren't they? I've been just focusing on gameplay, but like they are fully in the folk horror.
It's coming.
Press Y.
What the hell?
Let's go.
Wow, that's a much more robust system. Just
He almost saw us.
almost.
We have to be more careful.
Almost is not dead.
Still nothing.
We must reach that door. I'll need to distract him.
Oh dear.
Hiding somewhere.
Yeah.
Let me see the box.
That would work.
Hello. Yoink. Now, where are we trying to get to? I want to make sure I distract him the correct direction. That door?
If I throw mine,
I've got an axe! I warn you!
now's our chance.
Saints protect me.
Ooh, saints.
Alright, must be elusive,
Please tell me this is our way out.
Yes.
We certainly hope so.
No, they've locked it.
Maybe there's another way. There's a hole here.
Yes.
I can go and open the door from the other side.
I wish you didn't have to. Alright, but be
And
careful.
sneaky.
Don't worry.
Please don't get spotted.
I mean, I'm sorry, you've been out here murdering people and you went to Saint's protection? Which saint? I mean, Francis of Assisi, probably, the patron saint of beekeepers.
Heavy, but you can open it now.
Yes, well done.
Then we bolt that again.
Have they found my knob?
I don't know.
And
Need a way out.
it's
Can't let them hurt him.
He'll manage. We must leave, Hugo. They'll kill us if they catch us.
But maybe they'll kill him too.
Shh, quiet.
yep, there are saints who have killed people, yeah, and you know, endemic violence sucks, but I would not say is out of the question for this period.
Locked.
Shocking. The actual keep is locked. But you know, yeah, there's been plenty of controversy. I mean, there's been warrior popes already. Right.
Gate over there. Let's try it.
Not full murder popes, but you know, other popes. That have done violence.
Please!
You were Dad's biggest mistake, but I will fix it.
Stop!
Hugo, stay behind me.
Who are you?
We got lost. We're leaving. Just let the boy go.
You hear that, Remy?
Are you with the thieves?
No, we just arrived. Listen, it's our fault if he was late.
You have no right to be here. Remy, you handle it. And don't
Well, we're gonna murder this guy.
But the boy,
He's the right age to learn.
you shouldn't have come.
You don't want to do this, believe me.
You talk too much.
Uh-oh. 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 Yeah. Yeah. So Hugo has the power to control rats, and he just ratted people. Sorry, a kite? What's a red kite doing here? But man, is it pretty. Actually, scratch that. I think this is supposed to be a mythic bird. I'm confused now. What's the bird doing? Yeah, Mantrissa, I think the association of this opening sequence with folk horror and American Gothic is a very good shout. Right. Whether you want to think of it as whether you want to think of it as American Gothic or
Me again.
as
I need help.
What is it?
Wait,
Okay, yeah, it's a phoenix.
Minnie.
Yeah. Also the flying away, in a burst of flame. You know,
Amicia.
made it very clear. I was assuming it was going to be something naturalistic, because the previous game, tried to at least stay vaguely grounded, but no, we just have a phoenix. Alright. Fair away. Thank you. But yeah, what was it? Children of the Corn is the Stephen King novel. Or Wicker Man, or
Where are you going?
Midsommar.
I need to go back.
But right, all of those, I think, are right in this distrust of ruralness as being susceptible to this sort of cultic insanity. So, it'll be... I think that's a good shout for the vibe of this game, at least of this first sequence. Meanwhile, poor Hugo. The fact that we have a phoenix, though, I do need to check. Actually, I don't have...
What? Oh, what is this place?
I don't have convenient...
Lucas,
Yeah,
are you?
Hugo, just chill. I don't have convenient access to my phone because it is my camera. If someone could check the bestiary.ca entry on the Phoenix, if there is one, I want to see what its tradition in medieval thought is. Because, right, I would think of it as more of an Islamicate borrowing, eventually stretching over to the Chilean? Question mark? To one of the to a Chinese elemental spirit. Right. I'm not super familiar with like the phoenix as a thing in 14th century European thought. Like that's not ringing right for me. So that's I'm curious where, right, if there is a tradition I'm unaware of, and if there isn't one I'm aware of, sorry, Feng Kong, thank you. Thank you for correcting me on my memory of the Chinese sacred beasts. So Saint Ambrose, in the regions of Arabia, there's reported to be a bird called the Phoenix. This bird is said to reach the ripe old age of 500 years. When the Phoenix realizes that he is coming to the end of his life, he builds himself a casket of incense, myrrh, and other spices, and then, burying himself in that, is reborn anew. So,
Stop screeching and help me.
so yes, they are saying that there is a medieval European tradition, but it specifically links it to Islamic contexts. Which sounds right.
No, not that. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Yes. The Arabian version also says that only one phoenix lives in the world at a time.
What do you want? You're so noisy.
So on the one hand, let me just...
Alright, I'm coming.
let's just acknowledge that. That there's a lot of room for Edward Said to make a guest appearance in this stream.
Dying. I don't want to die.
But also, there's a lot of room for more very interesting things to happen. Like, one of the hopes I have for this game, right, because in the promotional material for the game, they have suggested that
It's going away.
they will be sailing to the south from France.
The water.
And if we are hunting down a phoenix, that means we're sailing into the Mediterranean and into, broadly speaking, the Islamic world. That's so freaking cool, right? There's a lot of ways in which that could be exceptionally cool.
Look who's awake.
Did you sleep well?
I was dreaming. Where are we?
Was it your island dream again?
Yes. I was sick, and then there was a big bird that saved me. What happened, Anicia? At the farm?
We were playing by the river, remember? But you felt very tired all of a
Oh
sudden.
no, we're just lying.
So I carried you back, and you fell asleep.
It's probably just a lack of salt in your blood.
But, Amicia,
It's been a long trip, Hugo.
Oh, we're just fully lying.
But the Red City's at hand. We'll get you checked there.
You know, we're going to meet a great alchemist there. From the Order. They know the macula very well. They've been studying it for centuries.
Uh-huh.
Yet they didn't come to help us in Requiem before we had to flee.
They didn't know the Inquisition would come after us. They are ready to welcome us now.
Aw.
Let's hope they'll make up for it then.
Well, this is going to go poorly.
The macula's not just in Hugo's blood. It concerns everybody. And it can change everything.
Uh-huh. God, the environments in here are so good. But yeah, wonder if this island is mentioned in, like, Sinbad stories or something? That is my wonder, too.
Let's see.
Hello there.
Hello. What's going on?
We're looking for a boy and a girl.
What did they do exactly?
They trespassed on a family's property. There was an argument and men were slaughtered. The younger brother witnessed it.
Well, that's horrible. I hope you find the culprits.
Oh, I do too. The boys are my nephews.
Uh-oh.
Mother, we need to leave. Now. Yes.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, we still have quite the road ahead of us.
Hello.
We won't take long. The boy! It's them! Come here!
no, wait! Amicia!
You! Get the cart! Oh, don't let her get away! I know you're in there somewhere. Show yourself!
My sling. Oh, stay
Where is
cold.
she?
Move on. Stay low.
No, she was right there. She must be still around. Open your eyes. Let's extend the search to the fields.
Yes. Go away.
Careful, she's wicked. She might be right next to you.
That's true, I am right next to you.
They can't. They need you.
Mm-hmm.
Hugo needs you.
Uh-huh.
Wait. He must have gone down the hill. Move fast. Unseen.
That's gotta be it.
I moved too fast. Here we go again. So there's one there, there's one there. Another one there. The problem is he's looking at me right now. And now he's looking at me. So many. Hello, Brillin. Good to see you. It's been a while. How's the game so far? I just started. But thus far, it has been a good time.
Careful. You can do it.
How do we kill such monsters? Let's try cutting off their heads. We'll call a priest if we must.
Uh-huh. Just call a priest, forehead.
If you die, they die.
Uh-huh. Yup. Monsieur Goat, don't mind me. You're fine, yeah? Thank you. Oh boy, this is not going to be an easy crossing. The problem is he can see me there. And we'll see if he turns around. he needs to turn around too, and fast. Oh good, there's another spot of hidden ground here. Great. Just walk past. Yeah. Walk past Mr. Mustache. Thank you. And goodbye.
What the hell?
You killed my son!
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Up we go. Ow! That was through a wall. Well, this is bad.
Come on. They're alive. God, my sleep. Get the sleep, quick, quick. Come on. Yes. Get him back.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez.
Bastards. You had to come back. This is what you get.
Ow. Ow. Well. I got caught. Ow, I whiffed. Alright. So this is just an unlucky spawn point. Anyway, chat. I cannot see what you said, cause you're speaking... Right, you're putting such long messages that I'm not able to conveniently see it. Which is usually good for us in terms of, you know, nuanced discussion, but not in terms of me actually being able to see things and participate. You know, I do have limited space on screen for...
Don't stop. They're alive. They need you.
It's gotta be them. Sail this way. Get up, you lazy bastards. Come on. They're behind us.
Also, yeah, we're just murdering everyone, don't mind me. Now, where the hell am I supposed to go, actually? Right here. No, that's a path down, not a path up. So around here? Yeah. Big right wall. Big white rock. There we go. That gives me a vantage point up here. Is that just a vantage point? Like, I killed everyone already. Like, what am I supposed to do? Because that's all very on fire. That's where I came from. I guess maybe through here. Oh, yeah, definitely through here. Music is good. And we are already going very intense. Alright, putting that sling through its paces. Da da da.
Hugo!
He's still breathing. It's the shock.
Uh-huh. Oh good, actual medical something.
It's over. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah. Chad is now talking about the music, which is a good shout. Right, very very drum heavy, which is probable for the period, if we're honest. Not exclusive for it, but, you know, very much in line with various horror traditions. But much more importantly, is very active in, right, lots of big open harmonies, with a fairly simple melodic line, not a lot of, like, this big 17th century four-part harmony that we see in the Baroque period. We instead are having a much more kind of plain chant influence style.
Are the people nice here?
Nobody will attack us here, Hugo. This town is under the protection of the Count of Provence.
All right.
A very powerful lord.
I must say, this is beautiful.
Are you sure the alchemist is waiting for us?
Well, Magister Vaudin told me he'd prepared a house for us.
An entire house?
Yes. The order is very old.
Hugo.
Houses and much, much more.
They built your mother's laboratory, and even the Chateau d'Ambrage, remember?
Yes. It's nice they give us a house.
Oh my word.
That's because you're very important to them.
Would His Majesty allow us to enter the city by his side?
I allow.
Oh my goodness. So, telling us that we're near Provence is helpful for geography. But also, narratively, Hugo is doing a lot of work for us right now.
Go take a quick look with him.
Right.
Thank you. The house is in the upper part of town. It has a phoenix weather vane.
Understood.
And be very careful.
Oops.
Find anything you like?
I like everything here.
Come.
Oop, I saw
Plenty of
something.
other things to see.
No, hang on. Alright.
Where do we start?
Well, what do you want to see?
We have
Try.
apples, and oranges, and pomegranate, and lemons, and watermelon. And as far as this goes, this is great. However, as this dude correctly beat me to the punch, this is a modern watermelon. That's not a medieval watermelon. Watermelon does exist. It's kind of marketed in Arabic manuals as being the best way to package water for caravans across the Sahara. But it's going to be very heavily seeded. So you're going to have these big pits in it. And it's only much more recently that we get it selectively bred to have very small seeds and a ton of pulp in there. But it is nice. It is nice that all of these are things that exist in this period, even if they're using modern exemplars. Right? I mean, there is an extent to which I can't really fault them for using modern examples while creating assets. But, you know, that's fine. Oh, you know, once again, we are hit by the curse of random NPCs have better outfits than our main characters do. Main character syndrome in material culture is very real. 'Cause, man, that's a way nicer outfit. Both that kid's outfit and his mother's outfit is so much nicer. Though the big giant earrings give there's a vaguely Romany aesthetic to it, but you know, I'm not bothered. It still is plausibly 14th century. and just looks a lot better, right? The two people talking over here, excellent. Very good outfits. Okay, your outfit is less good. Actually, wait, no, that's colored fabric. Never mind. Never mind. I retract my complaint. That is not anime hair, that is actually a headscarf. In which case, it is fine, though weirdly elaborate. Well, maybe if we're, like, saying that that's, like, pewter. Something that's, like, or potentially silver plating. But, you know, that's fine. Overall, right, the NPCs in this town are looking really good. And I'm liking what they're doing with a lot of this. Right, the red sandstone, being the primary building material, looks phenomenal. Like, strong aesthetic there. The boats look nice. The merch at the stalls, having these, you know, maybe not the cleanest fabric, but still, you know, clearly well-made fabric. Are very, like, Visigothic-y, or not Visigothic, are very Gothic-y, towers here. Looks really nice, and does match Andalusian exemplar. So, this is fine. Right, I'm not gonna say, right, Chad is pointing out a lot of this stuff looks more Eastern European, or potentially, right, oh, goose. Hello, goose. Oh no, I panicked the goose. Goose. I'm going to annoy this goose. I'm sorry. Hello, goose. Hail hydrate, thank you. Yonk. Alright, let's take a look at this link. Perfect. Clicking over, right, the link is a reconstructed drawing for 11th or 12th century Kievan Rus. So, right, you can see the headband within the stuff, the earrings coming off of it. So using something like this as potentially an example of, you know, a different culture's material culture that we're seeing at least vaguely reflected in the game. That's cool. Yeah, there's definitely, right, some inconsistencies going on in this area. Right, our material culture is sometimes a bit all over the place. I'd like to see more paint going around. I'd like to see, right, this guy's fully 13th century. 14th century, I'd expect to see the hood getting a bit pointier, probably. But, you know, I'm not too bothered. Yeah, like, that's... I'm curious. I'll need to look to see if there's Romani populations, going on. If there's Romani populations in Provence in this period, because that would be a potential as to what they're trying to do here. But, you know, it looks overall, right, really nice and, like, a really vibrant example of what a city might look like. Right? Not super crowded.
The Count Victor of Arles welcomes you all to the yearly fair of St. John. Enjoy goods from our region and beyond at the market.
Thank you, Town Crier.
Make deals at our fish auction and try
This is a Ren Fair.
a free session of a shooting game. Tomorrow's event is the long-awaited Cow Fair. Get ready to overbid. The Count Victor of Arles wishes you all an excellent St. John's Fair.
Right. There might be Romani populations in Andalusia, given how tolerant of differences the caliphates were. Not in the 14th century. Our narrative of how tolerant of... oh, by the way, shoutouts to Wimples.
I need a new
But, right, 14th century, the Caliphate of Cordova is dead. It is thoroughly dead. In this period, we're down to basically the Nasrid Sultanate, or Emirate, I think. I think it's an Emirate. So we're stuck to, like, extreme southern Spain. Cordova is going to be Christian again at this point. Cordova is going to become Christian fairly soon. Not quite yet, but fairly soon. Sevilla, I think, has already become, and Valencia have already become Christian again. So, right, there's a lot of, like, there's a period of what's known as, in Spanish literature, as the Reconquista, though there's nothing about that conquista. It's just a conquest. So, yeah, we're getting down to not a lot of vestiges, but we're looking at, like, Minorca and Majorca are important bases for Corsair raids. There's a lot of raids coming out of Morocco in this period. And the Nasrids are still looking fairly strong, just not...
Because of the arena pigs, you know? Oh, yes. I heard all the livestock from the whole arena is gone.
What do you...
Dead sick. Stinks like hell over there.
There's been an animal plague? I mean, I like that they're using the interior of the arena as pasture land. That's very good. But just casually talking about the fact that there's been an animal sickness coming through. By the way, there's an arena. We've not acknowledged it yet, but there is a Roman amphitheater. That's fine. It's built very much like, you know, a classical marble Italian amphitheater. A little bit, or limestone, I guess. Not marble, but limestone and concrete. Amphitheater instead of using local materials, but literally whatever. No one cares. Also, yeah, our flora is looking really nice. Lavender just freaking everywhere. Honk. Honk. I'm gonna bother the goose. Oh, look at this street. The street is so lovely. The cypress trees.
The people here, they're smiling.
It's true.
The close lines that it being overbuilt with lines crisscrossing it. The fact that it's unpaved.
The house with the weather vane. That's ours.
Oh, right above the market.
Yes. The view.
Right, the fact that it's unpaved, but there is, like, straw thrown down to alleviate some of the mud. And then coming out of that into the upper town with vast markets. Like, feels really good. I believe you are correct, that the Goose Saint is Martin of Tours. Amazing! We're getting Florentine trade. I'd say probably this is probably the Italian rug market as well. Though I could see things as far away as Shiraz, or or Cairo, or Fez. There's a lot of places we could be importing the rugs from, right? We could have, this could be Italian rug makers, this could be Moroccan rug makers, this could be Egyptian rug makers, or this could be Persian rug makers.
My lady, why not change your hairstyle? Thank you,
I
but
like this
I
place
like it like this.
so much.
Good for you. A woman's hair is her righteous crown. Beautifully said.
But who
That
thinks
is-
like that?
Well, thank you, sir.
That is a very Ren Fairy thing to say. But right, look at how many just people are around here wearing pretty wide variety of stuff. Like, a full, like, stitched kaftan type thing.
Just look at these colours.
people talking, pottery glazing. Really nice glazed pottery, too. Wait, hold up. That is lovely. Oh, look at that. Some sort of sporting contest going on over there.
This is some really beautiful furniture here.
I had a closet like that in my room. I like to hide in it.
Of course you did.
Alcohol?
Oh, this wine.
A present for your father, maybe?
He's dead.
But he
Oh.
loved this wine.
Well, he was a very fine man then.
He was. Thank you.
Aw. A tavern in the center. Right. It is simultaneously very Ren Fairy,
Colours.
but
Just imagine the clothes you can make with
I love it anyway. Right.
You can be sure.
This is
In any? I'm interested in too many.
flowers?
Bombs, ointments.
Flowers? Hugo, where did you go? There you are.
Primroses.
Oh, you know you're a variant.
Yes.
Flowers. My mummy taught me. We kept them in a book at home.
Do you want to buy flowers then?
Thank you, but we like to pick them in the wild. It's our thing.
Oh, this is lovely.
I understand. Enjoy.
Yes. Come. Let's see the rest.
Sure.
Primroses, dried lavender. Not sure what the purple one is over there. Right. Is that St. John's wort there? Looks like maybe a columbine. You know, good stuff. So much good stuff in here.
Just look at these colours. Look at these colours. Gorgeous.
Ooh.
Looks the finest.
Wait, where? No, don't tell me the streamer IRL's special interest.
Just look at these
There they are. Hello.
Look at these colours. Gorgeous reds. Yes.
You, I mean, I like all these loots. I want more.
They're beautiful.
Thank you. I make them. Do you know how to play?
No, I never took the time to learn.
But she's a good shot.
I could play. I'd love to. One day I'll learn.
Just not gonna react to that. Right. I mean, they are really nice. They are really nice. And I also don't, dislike, right, the suggestion that Misi is the one to learn to play.
Attention, please. Be careful and stay where you are. For here comes danger. Here comes fire.
How can you do that?
You see that?
I mean, I saw it. I'm unimpressed.
It's like the one we had at home.
This one's bigger and warmer.
You're looking at the best smithy in the region.
He must be sweating so much.
Oh, that's for sure.
He's making goofy weapons. Wait, hold on a minute. Alright, the shears, right, the shears are great. The sword is great, if a bit chunky. Right, the sword's a bit chunky, but I'm not opposed to it. The helmets are fine. The shields are goofy. These shields are incredibly goofy. Why are we having spikes coming out of them? Bread. Oh, good bread.
Hot bread. Yum.
Is the cattle fair still on? We should be there already.
I heard they have some sick animals over there.
Oh, well, we better wait then.
Oh, the path is blocked by... The path is blocked by cows. I did, however, hear a flute player,
Wow.
and so I'm trying to...
Those swords are huge.
Let's have a look. That's pretty.
I'd like to jump in it.
Probably shouldn't.
Not right now.
I mean, I approve of wanting to jump in it. Look at that!
It looks like there's no more fair this way.
Aw. Where'd the flute... I want to hear the flute. Also, how many moves? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 moves? Are there a big saw somewhere? Those are big saws.
They sauce for giant people.
Giant? No, you're just tiny as all.
I'm not tiny.
Oh, Lord.
Stop laughing.
Sorry. You're right. These are giant saws.
Ha! You see, sir?
All right. Tiny, but quite the character.
You're already dreading how this nice chill town is going to get ripped from us? Yep. We should absolutely be concerned about that. I think that is exactly the correct vibe. But it is really... Sorry.
Let's go see our house. It should be right up here.
Oh, we can share my room if you want.
Don't you want your own?
I don't know.
But that way we could invite each other to our rooms.
Yes. I love this place.
Me too.
They keep you on duty all the time.
I know. That's just how it is since the Count gave the captain more power.
That's not ominous at all. Bunch of sunflowers growing down here. Oh, hello.
Oh, they're playing music. Oh, I can't see.
Hey, you know what? I'll put you up on my shoulders, alright?
Alright, the dancing is basically just folk dancing, but that's fine.
You're feeling alright up there?
Yes, I can see everything.
So, Magistressa suggests Passion Play, which would be a great choice. Great shout. So, in festival markets, in this period, more familiar with in New York, in England, than in southern France. So, mileage may vary. But, one of the big things that would go on are these, what are now called mystery plays, but also passion plays.
Funny.
Yes, but it's great.
Which are sung and performed, and highly musical portrayals of biblical scenes, right? They're just...
Man, we should go see that house.
Oh, already?
Yes, Mother must be waiting for us.
I wish we could stay a bit.
And so, like, there's so many... We're cute. There's been a lot of really interesting research into sort of the acoustics of how these mystery plays were performed, and how they work in medieval York. Oh, who is the person who does it? Hack. Why can I not remember? Give me just a moment, sorry, I'm looking up a name of a colleague who I really should remember, but I am bad and forgetful, so, you know. We're gonna just fix that. I'll also drop a link in chat as penance, as soon as it loads up. Mariana Lopez, that's who it is. Dr. Mariana Lopez at the University of York has done a lot of really interesting research on these late medieval performative mystery plays. And that would be the same style of thing as what I would expect to see here. Right. What we're not actually seeing that here in the game, right? For the most part, apart from some oblique references to the saints, and, you know, devil speech, etc. for blasphemy, right? This is by and large a very secularized iteration of,
To the market. The house isn't this way.
You're right.
Yes it is. What? The house is over there. That's fine. I guess we'll head up this way. But yeah, right. What we are instead seeing is basically a performance stage. Right?
The people here, they don't seem to know about the bad things.
Bad things?
Everything that's happening outside.
I think they do know. They just feel safe here. You will too.
So,
Hey, I'm going to put you down for a bit. Let's pick up the pace.
Yes. I can't wait to see the house. I wonder how big it is.
I just hope they have real beds.
I hope I can see the market from my room.
A king's room, of course.
Of course.
as a flautist, you love all the ornamentation. Oh yeah, right. The actual recording is phenomenal. Like, let me be very clear. The actual performance side of that was extremely well done. But we'll see how that. Just in terms of is it the style of thing that's being performed? It's not the style of thing that we have particularly good evidence of being performed. Unlike mystery and passion plays, in these big kind of paradey festivals through the towns of medieval Europe, right? There's a plenty. That doesn't mean that there weren't these sort of totally secularized performances, just that it's not super clear, or it's not straightforwardly obvious that these also existed, and I think continuing to assume we're in a very Ren Fair-esque milieu in our conception of what a medieval fair is and should be is more accurate. Anyway, something they are doing that very few games do, which is awesome, is that they're showcasing, how diverse women's labor actually is in this period, right? So you've got people doing the washing. They could just as easily, not here, not in the top of the city, but just as easily somewhere else be doing vegetable dyeing. But they were also, one of the performers was a woman. Right, people in the market, some of the salespeople were women. There were women involved in, right, production and sale of material, and it is very, very nice. Hey, look, animation is hard. It is safe to assume that they are doing the washing. Right? Just because making games is hard and animating all the acts of actually washing things sounds like a nightmare. We don't fault them for that. Clearly, that's what they're supposed to be doing. So we'll let them. Also, this dress is very... Is it just dirtier? It's just dirty. Okay, I was about to say it's very fancy, but no, it's just dirty. So far, you're liking this portrayal of medieval living a lot more than Kingdom Come? Yeah, I think part of it is, right, they're making a much smaller area. And so they're putting a lot more vibrancy and density of people in it, which I think does a lot to communicate the joy of it.
So how was it?
They've got everything.
It's true. We'll have to go back all together.
Sure. We need some fresh herbs.
Look at that. I think...
Don't say that. Don't. But it is beautiful.
Home.
What a beautiful little town.
That word in a while.
This town is gorgeous.
I'm glad we came.
And I think someone needs to take a nap.
I'm not tired.
Sure. Let's go see inside.
Like, I wish we had someone cleaning the mosses off of the things, because I feel like that's a thing that would happen. Didn't have strong evidence either way for that. But it does give a sense of this town is really old, right? The mosses on the slate roofs gives it the sense that the town is really old, and has been really stable for a long time. And that's just a lovely feeling. God, it reminds me of, like, Andalusian towns so much. Chat, are you blind? Are we near the Mediterranean coast? Yes, we are. I'd say, actually, we are on the Mediterranean coast, because there were ships in the harbor. So, I would actually suggest, potentially, we're actually off the coast at, like, Marseille or Nice.
This is
Though I won't be super sure of that.
Ooh,
It looks quiet.
and it's less hot here.
It's nice.
Yeah, courtyards. Also palm trees.
Ready to come inside?
Yes, lead the way. We're home, Hugo. Our new home. Let's take a look around.
Yes.
All right, we'll do that later. Mother, where's Hugo's room? He's exhausted.
Upstairs. The bed is ready.
Thanks.
So,
Come on, you sleepy beast.
thought one. The idea of an organization
Alicia.
putting up visitors
Come where?
in a house that they own is
Island. He'll be healed there too.
Healed. Well, that would be nice, I'm sure.
It will be.
aw, sleepy. But right, the idea of an organization, right, a transnational organization, be that clerical, guild-based, or some other organization like the
Thinking
Order
too
of
much.
Alchemists here,
Sometimes it's better just to trust your
Uh,
feelings.
is perfect, right? That is how this works.
I get stuck in the logic of it.
Substances obey natural law. The macula does too. You don't need logic, Lucas. You just
Now,
need to be
Beatrice,
human.
that's not the best advice I've ever heard.
I'm just not very good at being human.
You are.
But
This is
also,
why you have
big
doubts.
neurodivergent energy.
Amicia! Amicia!
He had a nightmare. The macula.
It's the shock. What happened today must have woken it.
We
What
have
happened
6
today?
months of respite after he passed the second threshold. But the balance of his blood is very delicate. Amicia, go with Lucas. Magister Verdun is somewhere in this town.
Uh-oh.
Find him and tell him to come quickly.
Right away.
Amicia,
I know. We'll be careful.
Uh-oh. Yep. So, several things. Right, we need to finish one thought before we move on to another
Because of
thought.
those farmers, I should never.
It's not your fault.
How can you be so sure?
You can't control what happens in his blood. The macula keeps evolving, pushing the carrier through different thresholds.
Will this Magister Vodun really help?
The
Yeah,
Order
yeah.
has been studying the macula for centuries. If they can't, I don't know who can.
Lord, protect him.
Oh, good. Actual invocation. I prefer invocation to a saint, but that's fine. So, let's talk about the house before we get too far. Firstly, also from the outside. Wow. Look at that window. Chat. I adore that window. Beautiful. The right type of glazing, right? The right really tight diamond hatching for the seals, and then using colored glass in it to show off. Just magnificent work. Ooh. Hello. Who are you supposed to be? Chat, I'm not super familiar with my saints. If anyone recognizes him. Oh yeah, there are. Hello, Aloe. If anyone recognizes him, that would be awesome. Otherwise, I'm going to assert on, literally no evidence. Paracelsus hasn't lived yet. Paracelsus is 16th century? 16th or early 17th. That being said, I'm going to be no less... He's just holding an object. Unfortunately, right, it's just a bit of wood. It's unfortunately cut off as to what it's supposed to be. But yeah. Hermes Trismegistus is supposed to be Egypt or Ptolemaic. Right, but, right, obviously he's fake. right? He's St. Cosmos would make sense. Yeah. Right. Hermes Trismegistus is not real and becomes popular in the 14th century, so it's theoretically possible, but meh. I don't know that I love the feel of that either. I was going to assert on equally anachronistic and no evidence that it's Rambam, because why not? Why? I think we should have more Jewish representation in this game. Even though we're still in France, where all the Jewish population has been evicted. I just want us to be in Spain. I really just want us to be in Spain right now. Well, the music is not making us happy, is it? There were more things to talk about. Right, the gifting of houses, over here, right, is extremely good. The fact that we are having gifted a house near the city center, right, near the castle or keep or high point of the city, excellent. Top tier stuff feels completely reasonable. The fact that our house was virtually freaking empty, less reasonable. This is a case where I think we get a little bit baited by museum reconstructions, for various guild houses that have been restored across Europe. Right, where they often get restored in a way that I think understates just how much decoration would be hanging on the walls, because we just don't have the artifact acts for it. But tapestry is going to be big in this period. Laying rugs out on your stone floor, super important. Things being well stocked with food all the time. And just having oil lamps burning, all of that stuff, was things we didn't see in the house in that cutscene, but would be useful. Also, blues, with 25 months of tier 1. Good lord.
Just being discreet. The order works like this.
Someone must know about him. Let's ask around.
Okay, but also, someone from the guild should probably be greeting you at your house. That's fine. But the scroll, it could be St. Peter. Yeah, ooh. Sir? Sir, where did you get this outfit, and can I buy it from you? Please? Please? Anyone? No? Not even a little bit interested. Not even a little bit interested in selling your doublet. No? Magistressa, right. What is the context in lore for us just giving you a house? So, Magister Vaudin, who we are trying to find, is a member of the Order TM. Oh yeah, technically that's a coat hardy, isn't it? Not a doublet. Because it's got the fringe on it. But you know, two fabric coat. Yes. That's a really good outfit. Anyway, Beatrice, our mother, is part of the same order. And so, right, akin to being two members of a guild doing mutual aid for each other, that's just...
Town guard. I'll ask him.
Right, how that... the alchemical order is working in much the same way.
Hello? Excuse me. Would you know the whereabouts of Magister Vaudin?
I've heard of a Sir Vaudin, not a Magister. Try the marketplace. There's a couple of florists there.
All right.
They deal with him from time to time.
Thank you.
Aw, wholesome. Yes, only way it could be better if he was wearing a Buycocket hat, aka a Robin Hood hat.
That's a start.
Yeah, that's true. He's missing a hat.
Of course he doesn't go by his order's title publicly.
We came by the florist earlier. It's somewhere around this marketplace.
All right, we're gonna take a break to dance. I want a good look at your recorder. No.
I'm sure you remember where this florist is.
Maybe we could ask someone.
Hey, I'm just looking at your recorder. Chill. Lucas, we've got plenty of time. I want to get a good look at that recorder. Also, the florist is over there. So we don't need to ask someone. We're just gonna head over this way. Through here. Over here. There you are.
Hello again.
Oh, it's you. Looking for flowers for the little one?
Actually, I'm looking for Sir Vaudin. I believe he's one of your clients.
He's my husband's client. He's the one who deals in medicinal herbs.
Oh,
But Morton should be right by the fountain. Just tell him I sent you. He's wearing a brown tunic.
brown tunic. Thank you for your help.
God, everyone's got the most Renfair accents.
Let's hope he tells us.
He will.
Also a lovely little outfit. Look, the outfits aren't consistent over here, but that's fine. This makes you think of Riegal the Elder's wedding dance? You know, that's probably a reasonable assumption, right? That they're modeling some of this off of early modern reference, where we have a much better, a much more traditionally representative pictorial tradition to work out of.
Excuse me, sir. Your wife sent us?
Oh, what does she want now? I'm busy cleaning this mess.
It's not for her. We must find Sir Vaudin.
Him? Well, he doesn't like to be bothered. Just like me.
Listen, my brother is very sick. We need him immediately.
All right, all right. I don't know precisely where, but I think he lives close to the arena, down there. But don't tell him I sent you. Don't worry. Thank you.
Right, let's not waste time.
Hooray!
The arena district.
That's a lot of houses.
How are we going to find him?
There's mischief in the air. I can feel it. Yes. That's why I keep the children inside.
Yeah, that's fair. Something is very spooky around here. This place, God.
The order's not paused, so what would a magister be doing here?
Probably hiding?
Probably.
So, there's so much fun here. Right, so we come down here into the lower district, which is, and it's immediately much more ramshackle and poorer, but also still, like, broadly pleasant, right? Like, this area is not totally decrepit, even though the wattle and daub is not super well, done, and, right, the planking is still fine, right, and the shingles are repaired a bit awkwardly. Right, this place was not totally just full of hovels. And so it still is theoretically pleasant, but the music is doing so much heavy lifting here to make us feel panicky. Like, there is so much... Ooh. Yeah, alright. Yeah, the butcher just being here, blood flowing into the street, that's right, that's fine. It feels quick, but also that's just how it be. You are contemplating doing repair work. Good on you. Oh, hello, child. Oh, I'm so sorry, child. Big semi-communal thing. Butternut squash soup? I mean, no, because New World crops, but soup. All hail soup.
Amicia, that symbol on the wall.
The order.
Yes, he's in here.
No one gets in. The arena is off limits.
Why is that?
Because the Count of Provence said so. Get going, please.
Listen,
All right.
I really need to pass.
It's all right. Come, we'll go around the arena.
Spooky. Reuse of Roman amphitheaters in France is a whole thing. Remember what one town moved from... Chat, you moved too fast. Right, moved into its amphitheater during the migration period. Houses in the stands and outer arches would make up town walls. Yeah. Yeah, something like that is going to be...
Time to argue with soldiers. Let's look around.
You're right. Sorry.
Right, it's going to be very much untrue by this period, right, because the towns will have broadly outgrown the old arena.
There's a door up there.
Yes.
Right, just generally speaking, would have outgrown it.
So, ready to break the law?
But yeah, right, the Colosseum is used as a town in the Middle Ages, true. And was also freely ransacked for materials once Rome outgrew the city center. Right, there's the old forum with all of this exterior thing.
Is it?
The bite, yes. They've knocked the arena down.
And then they just pulled down a bunch of the materials for reuse in the area around it.
Hugo, we brought it here.
We super did not bring it here.
If he's not dead already.
Lucas, we super did not bring it here. But also, yes, at this point, you know, content warning.
They must be from the slum outside.
Content warning, lots of death. Okay, the bite, the macula, the carrier, anyone care to explain the lore? It is complicated. So, the bite is the stand-in for the Black Death. It is spread by rats. And by rats, I mean tens of millions of rats. The macula is a sort of, is the spot we saw on Hugo's chest. It is a sanguineous disease, passed down through the Darun family from the plague of just that it gives command over the rats, but also attracts them, thereby spreading the bite. The Order is a series of alchemists who have been around since at least the plague of Justinian, which is also an outbreak caused by the macula in this game, in order to study and control it. The Inquisition is, well, the Inquisition. They just don't like us. They are here to ruin our day.
How come nobody noticed their disappearance?
Maybe nobody cares.
Maybe.
Oof. Notably, right, the 10 quadrillion rats, every time we actually see them are going to just devour people, but they clearly have the Black Death as symptoms, right? Well, we're not going to linger too long on the deceased child because, yikes. Just look at his cheek. Very briefly, you can see this big black pustule. These are bubbos. This is where bubonic plague gets its name, the bubonic plague. It is actually one of only 3 types of plague. There is bubonic plague, there is pneumonic plague, and there is septicemic plague. Arachne, right, the veins make you think septicemic. Yeah. They are all caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis.
Another symbol.
Well, let's get in then.
And 3, 2, 1. Oh, it is open.
You think the symbols will lead to him?
We hope so, the symbols.
Look, an opening up there.
There must be a way to climb up.
Kyra, in practice, they're doing random, like, things. I think I saw one in someone's arm. Right, they are doing random boils on people's arms. Yeah. Like, that dude, that guy has been fully got. Bulbos are lymphatic nodes, that are turning into boils. You are correct. And so, they are, usually form around the neck. Though, you know, they are spread across the body, so they also show up in the groin area a lot. Everyone kind of freaks out, shocking no one.
If Odin's here, he's in trouble.
He knows the bite. He must be avoiding the sick.
Lucas, if all these people here were bitten, it means...
Maybe not. A sick person could have brought it inside the city.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, growing armpits, neck, Justinian got one on your face. Yeah. Oh, I didn't push it quite far enough. Lucas, help. There we go. Sorry, chickens. Alright, we need to talk about this room real quick. I need to finish the previous thought first, but then I'm confused by this room. So. One thing that I am extremely excited for about this game is that it's actually been 3. Right, it's been 3 years. In-game, it's been a couple of months since our last visit with proper nouns, but it has been 3 years, since the previous time. And that's cool, or since the previous game. And that's a cool distinction because what we're actually seeing, right, is in some small way an acknowledgement that the Black Death is not a one-time event. Right? That's what makes me so excited about this being a sequel, is that this is not one time. Right? The Black Death in traditional historiography, described by Boccaccio in the Decameron, arrives in 1348, imported from the Crimean city of Jaffa, and then lasts until 1352. C'est la vie, right? In reality, the second plague pandemic, the kind of genetic dispersal of Yersinia pestis across Afro-Eurasia and persistence in communities with regular outbreaks, runs from about 1250 to 1850. Even in Europe, right, we have the main outbreak in the middle of the 14th century, and then it'll proceed generationally to outbreak into the 1700s. In England, right, the last super major one is the 1666? I think it's in 66, the same year as London burns down. There's a massive plague outbreak. It was a bad year to be alive. That's the last major one in England. Other places last longer, and it persists into the 19th century in Anatolia. Black Death originates around the Tian Shan Mountains, just so we know. It is a Central Asian bacterium that lives natively in marmot populations. And it spreads out of there in the middle of the 13th century, first to China, and then westward into Europe and the Islamic world. So, that extremely brief rundown is useful here, because that means when we're thinking about this game as a sequel, it's continuation of the story, but also 3 years later, a sequel, right, this sort of reliving and re-traumatization of these mass death events, is super cool. Now let's talk about this room, because this room is bonkers. There is a lot happening in this room. Right, from fine wines over here to copper something or other to statuary in both stone and, I would guess, brass, not gold, but we could argue either way. That guy is just doing communion, by the way, so this is going to be a church father with the acts of communion. Don't know who that's supposed to be of, but it is interesting. The angels look to me, stylistically brand new, actually. Like, you could tell me this is a 14th century statue of an angel, and I'd be like, yes, I believe you. Which means the fact that it's weathered like it's a Roman statue is fun vibes. Because this is a case... Also, why are the apples and pears not rotted? And the flower. The flower should be just kaput. Like, holy moly, the flower should be absolutely ruined. Because contaminated grain is the primary vector of rodent populations. It's not throwing cows over walls, it's not intentional work by the Mongols, it is contaminated grain shipments. But yeah, right. Also, in the back, there's a either pewtered or silver statue of the same saint that we saw earlier. He is holding his hand up. I prefer him hand like this, because that would be full-on definitely a saint. But even like this, I can safely say church figure. Raptortus. The traditional narrative is that it is fleas on rats that are doing animal-to-human contact. However, there also is extremely clearly human-to-human spread, especially in Northern Europe.
Let's just pass. Not a sound.
You're alone, and I have all the time in the world. Just talk to me.
That brute is not a soldier. He's dressed as one.
Not a single coin.
How many are there?
If I find him, I could ask for a reward.
Amicia, he'll see us. I'll make him move.
Thank that bastard Count for letting you die like a dog. Damn, that's an ugly death.
Alright, let me select things. And throw a rock. That?
That's it. Go away.
What did I hear?
Nothing. You heard nothing, you saw nothing, you saw no one. Okay?
So, any sort of the doctor?
A doctor.
No, Rodan's pretty good at hiding, I tell you.
You would think risking the quarantine zone would absolutely not be worthwhile. And yet there were people who did. Especially... Right.
So they're after Verdun. They think he's a doctor. Oh, just a luck.
Stop looting and look for this bloody alchemist.
Uh-huh. Heck. Well, he isn't... Huh. If you ask how is quarantine in France at this time compared to just us seemingly just chucking people into an amphitheater? Well, honestly, that's not a terrible strategy. Right? As far as it goes, just... that's dumb. Could commit murder. He isn't...
You're sure about this?
Trust me.
Please move the other way. Please move the other way. Got it. A little bit of murder, as a treat. Anyway. I did commit murder, but that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, it stinks.
What the hell?
So, quarantines. Right, quarantine in this period is fairly sophisticated in that multiple cultures, right, Islamic and Christian, and Jewish, all suggest, hey, if you become sick, do not flee, right? Do not move. Lock down everything. There are no formal quarantines until later into the Second Plague pandemic. Denmark issues one of the first in the 16th century. But still, there are traditions of quarantine. Also, I do need to check something real quick. Sorry, chat. Oof. That still is fine. So... Oof. They definitely try to isolate people, have whole families stay put in contaminated houses, and then deliver them food. Italy has one of the more robust sort of care networks for quarantined people, but even then, the sheer enormity of the plague kind of overwhelms that really quick.
I'm going to be sick.
And, right, Monica Green, Dr. Monica Green talks a fair bit about what...
Let's find something to get up there. Oh, quick.
like, has a fair amount of discussion as to what constitutes a, like, social marker of an epidemic. And one of the big things she talks about is the disruption of rituals, right? The, yeah, disruption of rituals of burial. And so the fact that things have already gotten to a point where the ability to do Christian burial rites are...
Still going on in Guyenne. It's already spreading. Yes, but they would have seen it coming. Wouldn't have changed a thing.
Right, sorry, finish this thought. We're seeing this level of distress in a Christian context where bodies are simply going fully unburied is going a case of it going extremely badly. Oh, for God's sake. Don't. There we go. Line it up, thank you.
Let's go, quick.
I mean, yeah, we saw this in New York in 2020 with the disturbance of burial. Exactly. Right, a disturbance of burial
But none of them look devoured.
is...
Look, I think they were keeping count of the dead.
Right, just very important. Now, we can immediately move on from one thing to another thing. Also, would pigs be affected? I believe so, yes. This knife.
They left a knife. It's stuck. Come on.
This knife is, in my interpretation, medical.
Through that.
You don't use blades against people.
I did.
You...
I had no choice. A blade is silent and quick. It's what we need now.
All right. It's up to you.
Right, Right, we've got the little flare at the tip, and more importantly, that handle shape is really weird in a non-medical context. Right, we've got that handle that hooks back and then curls into a point at the very end. And so, right, we don't really see this in, like, combat knives of this period. Like, that not, in fact, we don't at all see it in combat knives of this period. Let's just be very clear on that. Any weapons treatise is going to use, like, a roundel-style knife, so you've got a very bulbous wooden handle, and then 14th century not so much, but then we're going to either have like a keyon and then a like dagger blade, or we're going to start to see those tapering into what is it, stilettos. So what we this is probably right, what we're probably instead seeing with that knife is that is a medical scalpel, in which it's designed to slice open something, and then you can turn it around if you need to, especially for bloodletting, and you can actually hook a vein out of your incision, using the other end of the dagger. Right? So, that is like the quintessential thing that this is used for, and so it's like the standard medical knife of that period.
Look over there. Another symbol.
Good, but Lucas, if these people fell ill, it means some must have been bitten.
I've seen no signs of attack.
Not yet. Anyway, let's go.
Well,
Soldiers turn bad. That doesn't sound good.
Anybody want to roasted bird?
how many of them are there? 1, 2, 3,
You just shot a dead body!
4.
Oh, come on! They moved right when I shot! Stop playing and keep your eyes open. Or you'll be explaining to Arno why we're empty-handed when he arrives.
No one saw anything. Dang it, turn around. Please turn around. 1, 2. Unfortunately, the archer is also guarding the view, so I can't do a lot here till he turns around. There we go. Alright, this leaves me much more well covered. Alright. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to wait a bit. Because I need to wait for him to turn around again. It looks like I can get under that table then. And once I get under that table, I can wait for him to go past, get up the stair... hell. I mean, that's true. But... come on. Luckily, Lucas is invisible. That's fine. You're underneath us. You shouldn't actually be able to see us up here.
I wonder how Mother will react to this. She'll deal with it. She's strong. Not strong enough, I'm afraid.
Is he not gonna look away? I know this guy will eventually turn around.
They're wasting our time. Try to breathe. We're making progress.
I don't have a good... yeah, he's just not gonna move. Alright, here's the plan, chat. This guy's gonna turn around, we're gonna shiv the other guy, and then we're gonna leave. Alright?
You've been spotted.
Dang it. The idea was good. The execution didn't quite go. Nope, that's bad. That didn't quite go. The idea was really good until it, wasn't. Okay, that I can make that only attract one guy if I throw it here. So if I time this right, if I time this correctly, as soon as the other guy turns around, I can throw it here, go through the other window, and then leave. Let's try that instead of shanking someone, because that feels better.
I heard something. Nothing here.
It's not fast enough.
Wasting my time.
Turn around again. I'll use my other pot for this.
Here I go again.
No, you don't.
Yes, we made it.
We have nothing.
But I'm weary of the thieves, murderers, mercenaries, all the bloody scum that keeps getting in our way. Chaos rules our lives. They're part of it. And you're getting better at handling them. I see it. We were pretty discreet back there. Well, better to let live. And not risk dying myself.
Open the skills menu. Amicia will automatically increase the mastery for 3 types of skills depending on your approach and the styles and the tools you use. So we get light footsteps, so we become less noticeable. Incredible. We can move faster while crouching, we can throw items further, or can shank people better. So we're making progress towards prudence. Well, this is nice. I enjoyed that. I think that's a vast improvement from most of these other games with similar systems.
Smell that? Dead bodies. What is this place? A hospital.
Looks like it. That's really nice. So, chat,
Just to live here.
do you know what game this game is most influenced by?
I can't get used to it. You don't have to.
Because I think it's very obvious what game this franchise is most influenced by. Dishonored? Nah. Nah, not even slightly.
There's one still alive. Lady. Oh, Alice, it's you. I'm not Alice. Promise you'll take care of it yourself. I will. Be at peace.
Cyberpunk? Nah.
You did well. I did nothing. Let's go. Can we stop it, Lucas? You mean the bite? Yes, but if we cure Hugo... The real question is, will it stop the rats? I don't know yet. We still haven't seen one. If they're here... They're hiding from the sun. Waiting.
Chat, you're not keeping up on your ultra high budget cinematic video games very well. The Last of Us. It's fairly transparently based on The Last of Us.
Please tell me this is it.
Right? Especially now that they've introduced shivs. Right? They have just introduced shivs, a consumable resource that you'll just, like, shank someone with and then leave. And I think that's super interesting, right? Because
Oh, Lord.
the last...
It's a whole
Oh,
city.
Christ.
The symbol. He's in that tower. He has to be.
Has to. Lucas, crossing this mess won't be easy or quick.
It's the order. A High Magister would just live in a high tower, no?
Let's just get there.
Oh, Christ. Right? So, Agalias, you know, you were saying medieval towns, French towns moving into Roman amphitheaters? This is what you meant, right? This is totally what you meant. You meant shantytowns made out of wood and clay instead of corrugated iron. Right? Right? This amphitheater is freaking enormous. Look, this game broadly has an issue of scale in that, yeah, this is obscene. This is absurd. No amphitheater would actually be this big. But at the same time, right, it is a problem of scale, not of less of kind. Right, the idea that there would be buildings densely packed, several rows deep, inside a Roman amphitheater, in addition to that sort of central open space we can see in the distance, which would be either assembly or pasture land, you know, that all is actually fine. That's a bit earlier than this period, but, you know, it's fine. You want to know what the hell the Romans were using it for? Obviously they were flooding it for naval battles. Come on. Come on, Raptorus. The totally attested thing that is done. Well, at least one hippodrome. But that's fine. But yeah, right? The style of it is not ahistorical. Well, scratch that. The concept of it is not ahistorical. The styling of it, right, this is an uncharted shantytown, right? Right, the Naughty Dog influence is super clearly felt to me. In that this is, you know, one of these big cinematic shantytowns.
Sure about this?
Well, it's the only way. Just be careful.
And this being heavily influenced by Naughty Dog, which is to say Uncharted, we are struck by the curse of breaking everything we remotely look at.
Can you stand up?
Try to.
And,
Please don't hurt me!
Calm down. We're not with those men. You live here?
the Drake curse of destroying everything we touch. Look, pointless lacing on the shirt sleeves is extremely on vibe.
Don't drop the torch. As long as you have it, they can't hurt you.
Oh look, we have genre's happiness.
To us. We have to go back up. The sun will protect us.
Calm down. You're safe in the light.
All right.
Where do they come from?
There's more coming.
A lot more. Keep moving. There's too many.
Don't stop.
Ignore them. Keep moving.
Oh, so chat, you wanted that escape sequence. There you go. Here's your Uncharted escape sequence.
We're done! No, we've got light. We're safe for now. We're safe. We're safe. Calm down. Keep hold of me.
And now we get the fact that these...
We must. Let's go carefully.
now, once...
I told you they were here. There are millions of them.
Yes, there are.
How?
Literally...
There'd be so many already. Hugo, they're here for him.
Literally quadrillions of rats. But yeah, you know, our Naughty Dog influence is extremely strong. And here we go again.
Yes, that will hold. Look, they're climbing. What? How? This is so bad. We get to that tower, get Voda, bring him back to Hugo and leave.
Come on, it's burlap. Come on, this is just burlap. I can light this on fire. Come on. Ah. Why the rat wave? So, ZX the Almighty, Asobo Studios decided that to portray the Black Death...
I lost all of it in the fall. We'll do without. Yes. Please don't drop that torch.
In order to portray the Black Death and its horrors, and the idea of this unstoppable spread that you can do nothing without, they decided their fantasy version of it would simply be,
But I'll need my hands free.
a quadrillion rats.
No choice. I can't believe we're leaving the torch behind. Nasty filth. What do we do? Let's use a stick. It'll burn fast. We'll keep a straight line. Yes, very straight. Lucas, when night comes... Yes. Nothing will stop them from getting out.
So yeah, you know, on the one hand, I super like, the idea that this is how we are communicating, the horrors of this period.
Fire's doing all right. For now. For now. Good. One brazier at a time. We can make it. We're
Right.
making it. There's a ladder. It should work. Time to light it up.
Wait, what? How am I supposed to light that? Whatever, we can experiment. Oh, perfect. I can yeet it. Yeet.
Well done. Let's go. Quick.
It's effective horror. Yeah, I believe that. It's extremely effective horror.
Higher ground.
And it is, right, genuinely distressing. Right, the trauma of being in a period of pandemic, right, without modern medicine, news cycles, antivirals, and care systems. Right, it's hard, even in 2022, it's hard to imagine the trauma associated with plague outbreaks, where whole families would effectively within a week just drop dead. Right? Well, COVID has an extremely high spread rate. It has compared to Y. pestis, especially historically, it has an incredibly low.
It's the only way.
It has an incredibly
Right. Steady. Wow.
um
Just don't rush.
shit. Every time.
I'm surrounded. The ladder. Get to high ground, quick. Yes. Of course it had to happen to me.
Every time. But yeah, right? There's no realistic way to imagine what is effectively, right, between a 30 and 90% death rate. Right? That is the scale of what we're looking at here. 30 to 90%. Right? There are places where the,
There you go.
Thank you. I'll try to join you. I'll need a stick to get across. All right. Be fast, be brave, and don't fall this time.
You can do it. Don't panic.
Too late for that.
oh, just light that fabric on fire, please.
Horrible. Thank you.
Please stop giving me cold sweats. Let's keep going.
Alright, well, we made it. Good job, team. But yeah. Right. The second plague pandemic, in its 14th century outbreak, in Europe, right, places with the best care
To sunlight.
had
Get out closer to that tower.
10 to 20% lethality rate,
To hear Magister Vodan's plan about this.
It better be a damn good plan.
and there are places with literally total depopulation, where we can have 70 to 90% lethality rate for the plague, and everyone else just leaves. So depopulation is, in some places, functionally total because of the plague, and so, right, communicating that trauma
No,
We're going down again?
we are.
is difficult,
No.
right?
And Hugo's condition gets worse with every second we spend here.
The more
It should be fine.
there's, right, COVID's, what, 1 to 3% lethality rate is really low compared to that. And so, right, pandemic ennui aside, social isolation aside, and the very real traumas for those who get severe COVID cases and their families, I think we can clearly see the social impacts of the ongoing pandemic are dramatically different than they were in the 14th century.
No, but they were
And
here not long
the
ago. Look at these bodies.
the scale of the
Careful.
sort of 14th century traumas is just enormous. Ooh, Arachne, I am sorry. Luckily, our care is way better than it was in...
It looks like an elevator. It could be a way out.
Sorry?
Lucas, what is that thing?
I read about this. It's an elephant. From Africa. Romans used them during circus games.
It's enormous. Look at its teeth.
This is...
Well, that's delightful.
Yes. There's enough bones around. Let's get out of here.
Well, that's delightful. I mean, I feel horrible because, you trapped an elephant down here, you horrible people. But also, the little cultural response of, would have never seen in Africa, right? Even a provincial noblewoman, right? The odds of seeing in Africa.
Sulfur. It's a smithy.
It looks pretty closed. Let's keep looking.
Like, non-existent. The odds that Amicia would have seen an elephant are non-existent.
Let's see what it does.
So, right, the corollary idea that Lucas, having being better read, would hear about it and know a little bit about, like,
I'm going to
what
need you.
bestiary
Sure.
traditions are saying about it. Excellent stuff.
Wow.
Nope. Come on. Come on. No. No. There we go. Don't freak out.
Do you hear that? Please, no. Look how many there are. We're stuck, Lucas. No, no. Look at the platform. The brazier. It looks big enough to light the whole room. How do we set it on fire? I
We're
don't know.
good.
Saltpeter, sulfur, alcohol, whatever we can find.
Uh-huh.
These rooms are open now. Maybe we'll find something. That's sulfur, right? Yes. Some spilled on these planks. The chest up there might contain more. Fresh sulfur would be perfect.
Let's get up there. A crank. There's an elevator.
You're doing all right?
Having the time of my life.
Well, you were immediately gonna say mammoth bone before you,
Of course.
It won't stay.
Can I help?
Good idea.
Nope.
Lucas, I need you to take care of this.
Of course.
I mean, I would prefer that he pushed the damn thing, but that's fine.
Holding.
We're losing time.
Yes, yes. I know we're losing time. Amicia, don't panic. I mean, right, we haven't talked about it yet, but there is a very clear...
On your go.
You can let go now.
Very well.
There's a very clear,
We need to move faster. I'm worried about you.
acknowledgement of the quantity of trauma.
As soon as we 5 downhill.
We don't even know if he's in there. And with the rats. And those mercenaries.
Hey. One thing at a time.
And the fact that she's panicking a little bit, like, just feels very good. Feels very bad, but it feels very good, right?
So, found anything?
You were right. It's sulfur.
Yes. Now that is very good news.
Alright.
All right. We need a second element. Then we'll craft an ignifer. Remember?
Ignifer. I forgot about this. Let's check that other room.
Yeah, right. I think it was... Ha. I think it was Emma who came up with imagining the local blacksmith trying to figure out how to make an elephant plow. Ha.
Like alcohol. Maybe in that chest.
All right. Let's try to keep these rats occupied first.
Oy vey.
Don't fall.
Thank you, Lucas.
Good advice. Solid advice. Not falling. The flour should be great for them, except that the rats are horrible people that like getting munched or munching things. And so I suppose we should give them something to munch, huh?
Tell like this.
Should be fast enough.
Safe. Good. Let's get to that chest.
They still look like they haven't eaten in a million years. So, what's in it?
Alcohol.
Alcohol bottles.
Yes, that's good. Very good. Come back.
Oh good, there's a ladder just here. Please move. Please move. Up the ladder. Rats can totally climb ladders though, so this should not be keeping us alive.
Good. We have sulfur
Oh well.
and alcohol. It's one of the best bases for an ignifer. Highly reactive. Mix them together.
Ignifer. I love that thing.
It's a lifesaver.
Hold RB. Nope. Stop it. Yes. Yes.
Done.
Shoot
Perfect.
those embers with your sling and, well, hope that it works.
Perfect. Ignifer with the sling. Hooray! Alchemy!
What the hell?
That was highly reactive indeed.
Thanks, Lucas. That ignifer will be more than useful. Now, let's try to get that platform down.
I think I've seen other cranks around.
We'll have a look.
Have we? I have not seen any other cranks around, but that's fine.
There are our cranks. Up there, under the arches.
Oh,
Yes. Let's
hell.
try.
Let's light this place up.
More alcohol and more sulfur, excellent. Just in case if you were extremely bad.
There are still rats left.
That clay pot you have, it could concentrate the effect of an ignifer and release it on impact. Go on, try.
Let's hope it works.
Alright, selection menu. Ignifer pot. Great. Select the pot with right stick. I guess that.
No.
Yes, move.
And we stand there.
Great idea.
Pretty easy. You just need a pot.
And then we have the munch over here. And then we use that to get up the stairs. Flawless. We're so good at this. So good at everything related to this, right? Oh. I am full up on pots. Okay.
Right. Let's move this beast.
2, 3.
That thing is too heavy.
That's what the crank on the other side is for. You need 2 people.
All right. You stay there. I'll go man that other one.
I'll wait till you go.
Alright. I hate this news. Right. Nope. Ignifer with the sling. Go.
So many jars. Probably wine for the spectators of the arena. Some things never change.
And then we go... Oh, hang on. I can go... Rock with the sling there.
Help you go. I'll find this photo. But you have to hold on.
And...
I'm doing my best.
that. Boom. Gets me number 2. And then gets me one more with the ignifer pot right here to clear the path. So the plague just gave all the rats a rabid hive mind? Remember, this is fantasy plague. So, yes, but it's the activation of the macula, which is our fantasy.
It's working.
Oh.
Thank the Lord.
The activation of the macula does it, which, alright. Well, that's obviously not going to work.
This is it.
On your word.
Go.
That might be the brake breaking.
Let's get to the lift. Quick. Whoa.
On time. Hooray.
How did we do this?
This is good. We did good.
Exceptional skills and resilience.
Exactly. Phew. Good job, team.
Again. Do you realize what that means?
I do. But we've been through this before.
You...
You saw how they charged us. The way they move. They're faster, more agile, more intelligent.
But we made it.
Barely.
Let's find Magister Verdun. With the Order by our side, we won't have to face this alone anymore.
I really hope that you're right.
You all are in for terrible news. I'm sorry, my friends, you are not genre savvy enough for this game. You are all
Please
here
tell me we didn't stray from it.
for terrible, terrible news.
Yes,
But we are close. Thank
We
goodness.
got a bit closer now.
a bit. But I'll take that.
Unfortunately, the light is fading. The light is fading
Those mercenaries.
very quickly.
Thinking they found him.
Let's just hurry.
We do not want to be here after dark.
This place actually seems pretty nice.
Before the light.
It did.
Yes. A vegetable garden.
Leeks!
Oh, look at that.
Ooh, a shiny. Hello, shiny.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Whoever planted it won't see it grow.
Hugo will love it. I'll keep it there. Like before.
It suits you.
Well, thank you. Let's keep
Aww. We found a collectible. This tiny white star is a colony-forming aquatic wildflower artifact of shallow lakes and castlemoats. Its genus name, Sagitta, means arrow in Latin, comes from the shape of its leaves. It's also known as duck potato. It is said to absorb large amounts of heavy metallic elements such as copper or lead, 2 of the 7 pure elements in alchemy. Oh, I already missed one souvenir. Okay, fair enough. Note, since I played the original game, right, the old game one is back. Which is nice for me, because that means I can actually equip a different flower. I can have a little Columbine. Who's Hugo? Hugo is our brother, who is a very sickly little boy. And is the source of most of this game's problems. Most people get very annoyed at Hugo for being, literally completely dependent on his, sister to do much of anything.
Hans hopes to deal with this mess,
People seem to think he doesn't care much. His army rules for him,
which doesn't prevent those mercenaries from wandering around.
and we thought the place was safe.
We did think the place was safe a little bit. Alcohol, and sulfur. Oh, I can only have one knife at a time? Oh, that's not good. You sure I can't grab a second knife? It's for medical reasons. Exactly, right? They're mad at him for being a realistic portrayal of a 9-year-old with severe illness. Literally, like,
We're getting really close to the tower. One last push.
there are some points where I'm not particularly
He has to be
worried.
in there.
The kid with the cloak is Lucas, an alchemist in training,
They could save Hugo.
that we met in the last game and was integral to our defeating the, at least, first wave of the Inquisition and protecting Hugo. Alright, is this this must be a getting back, not a getting over then. I mean, if we could traverse the roofs, that would be so much better.
How many people died here?
In such a packed place, locked down. The bite probably took them all.
They've been condemned.
Yeah.
Something is going on here. Let's go get the alchemist and leave this bloody place. We wait for Arno. It's an order. All right, you're cool.
He really is in the tower.
And they'll storm it soon. Lucas, this is our last time to save Hugo.
Yes, we must get Magister out before their chief arrives.
Come on.
Uh-huh. God, there's so many of them. Give me a pot. Thank you. There's... how many people were there? As you mentioned before, the visual reference for the tower is you think the tower house is built into the amphitheater? That would make sense. Actually, I think this is supposed to be near Arch. That name has been mentioned before in the game, I think. I was afraid of that. Yes, yes, birds. Where are the...
Come on. Come on.
So I could try and just mark that guy. Not a bad plan, honestly. Or I can try and actually stealth this. Ah, hell. This was a flawless victory. If he walks in here, I'm shipping him. No, it's half. I did not do that silently. Hopefully I did it silently enough.
No time to waste.
That guy is, I think, the most dangerous one. Well then. Huh.
Now where the hell did they come from?
Damn it, and that guy still is around and can see me. Alright.
You'll never get me.
Let's try and buy ourselves some space, I guess. Ah, hell. I need to make some more. There we go.
Who's making that noise?
You saw nothing. Now I'm gonna take this chance to grab a stick. I want to wait for him to get back on his patrol, because this would get risky otherwise.
It's fine. It's just me.
Try and get me, you bastard.
The other option is that I just, like, nail him while he's not paying attention, but, I don't know, I'd prefer to not do that. Oh well. We're 100% going to do that. Nope, that one.
Wait a second.
Get out of the way.
Weird noise.
Hey, you right? Dead. The killer's around.
Damn. Alright, we're going to have to go Ignifer pot right here.
Over here! Don't let him get away!
Oh no.
Right over the top. Run, run.
Join me! Stop these intruders!
Ow. Yeah, there's not a lot I'm going to be able to do here. But unfortunately, there's just not a lot I'm going to be able to do there. So that's...
He really is in the tower, and they'll storm it soon. Lucas, this is our last time to save Hugo.
Yes, we must get Magister Verdun out before their chief arrives.
Come on.
annoying. Let's see. If I could find a way to keep the...
Come on.
I think the preferred goal here is if I could keep The shiv, that'd help a lot. Boo, that side is locked. And there's nothing else up here. Gotcha. Don't worry about it. This is fine. Everything's fine. Watch this. Dang it. Ah. Boo. I was hoping I'd be able to...
We have to hide.
I was hoping I would be able to just...
Get up, you lazy bastard, come on.
Come on, come over here and check him out.
I'll find who killed you. Someone's hiding in the area. Start looking. Understood.
Damn. Well, we're going full aggression here. No, not that one.
Get out of the way.
I know you're still around, you bastard.
Aim assist me, thank you. Perfect, so that's all of them done. That should leave me okay for this first phase. I'm going to take a look at what else is in the area. You know, other routes, other options. So we can do something other than... I certainly would have preferred to not take this road, but it is effective, I'll give it that. More sulfur, excellent. Sticks over here. I'm full up on pots, okay.
Shit. Run! Run! Rats! They're coming! What?
Interesting.
They followed us. No, we don't have time.
Interesting. That was surprisingly effective. Might that buy me a little bit of space?
The hell was that noise?
Be cautious.
I mean, you do have bigger things to worry about, don't you? Come on, dispose of the body from you. I believe in you. You can do it. Nope. Hand thrown. Craft. 1, 2.
They're still slowing us down.
And we're just gonna drop and get over here. Don't mind me. Oh, we made it. Well, with that was not good. That still doesn't leave us clear. Damn. Goodbye. Well, maybe that is where we're supposed to go, because I'm not seeing a whole lot of particular value up here apart from more shinies. So if I could get a second chest, that would be awesome. I mean, I wish I could tell you, dude. Random mercenary, sir. I can't tell you what's going on, though. It's bad. You hate the effect of the Tower of Rats? Just... oh, hell. I was reading chat. I was reading chat. Thank you, Cosmic. Let me grab another... let me see if I can grab... no, I cannot grab another stick. There are rats in between. Well, alright. Ingefähr pot, we can craft one. Then lob it straight in the center here. And then run like hell. And, pray this isn't locked? Pray this isn't locked. Can't you go put in a good word with his rats for you? No. Cause he's not here. He's very sickly, and is at home with Mom.
We're safe now. You did great. What's wrong? Vodan is somewhere in here.
We did kill like 4 people.
Those last months on the road. After all that happened in Requiem.
Yep.
Hugo was always worried that it would start all over again.
Yeah.
But everything was so nice and quiet. And so I told him that maybe it was over. That the worst was behind. We all hoped it was. What are we gonna tell him now? That the rats are back? That the bite has killed hundreds? And this new home that he likes is already dying. I'm not ready for this. No one could be ready for this. But soon we won't be alone in it anymore.
Managers, so we are about to wrap up the stream. I think once we find Vodan, we're gonna call it. So, there's not very long left.
Good.
Because I also need to eat.
A real order lodge.
Oh, calling it a lodge. Oh, okay. Okay. We are just fully going in on the
That's an entrance.
Byzantine Freemasons.
How do we get upstairs? I see no door. These sorts of iron bells. Look, they bear planet symbols.
Ooh, there was a spicy take redeemed 5 minutes ago. I see that.
The order of the planets is not right.
Hashtag
How does
Byzantine.
the whole thing work?
Hashtag
There are lots
Byzantine.
of key under each bell. It's one big mechanism.
But we don't have a key, so...
I think the key makes each bell pivot. But your sling may do the trick. Let's try from the left.
All right.
From left to right, the correct order is Jupiter, Mars, the Sun, Venus, and Mercury. Jupiter's symbol looks like a Z, like for Zeus.
Uh-huh. I'm not going to remember that. Wait, that's just literally Justinian. Hi, Justinian. What are you doing in southern France? Hello again, Justinian. Yeah, there was French Byzantine stuff last time that they were relating to the plague of Justinian. Here they're just doing it again. Now, you wanted a spicy take. I mean, the Order of Alchemists is Byzantine and also Freemasons. Should be a spicy enough take. But in lieu of that, my spicy take is that I'm not intrinsically... Oh, nope. Is that I'm not intrinsically opposed to this.
That's it. Jupiter.
What's next?
To Jupiter's right is Mars, the god of war.
Uh-huh.
It's a shield crossed by a spear.
Spear, shield.
Mars should be a circle
Mars,
with a
that's
line.
it.
Venus is the first to the right of the sun.
Uh-huh.
Shaped like a necklace.
Uh-huh.
Look for a circle with a line going down.
Yes, yes.
I think this is
The
Venus.
last one is Mercury, the god of commerce. He carries a staff with two
And
slits
done.
intertwined.
That's all of them, I think.
Yes. Oh, look.
And so we do this. Right, I mean, that is apparently not spicy in this chat, but it could be spicy overall. The reason why I don't mind it so much is that this is emphasizing continuity between the Plague of Justinian and the Black Death. Which is, you know, biologically accurate in that they're two different outbreaks from Central Asia of the Black Death, or of Yersinia pestis. But Monica Green has actually described it as being based, kind of European attitudes to the Plague of Justinian as being a collective amnesia, where medieval, 14th century medieval...
The daughter. That explains why those brutes downstairs are so quiet. The Order was quite impressed by the way you put down the Inquisition in Requiem.
Well, I didn't have a choice.
Not a choice. A calling. That of a carrier's protector.
I hate that.
A what?
Proper notes.
A protector. Your function among the Order.
Ooh, manuscript notes.
I'm not.
And you are
I'm Lucas. I'm an alchemist too.
an apprentice. Does your Magistra know you entitle yourself?
Who cares? The macula's woken up again. My brother needs your help, and the rats are already there.
Control your flame, Protector. Others are burned in it. Take my bag. Let's go see that carrier.
No, I want to look at... I mean, I don't care about these. Yeah, plot. I want to see the manuscript. Tragic.
Magister Verdun,
Where is he?
upstairs.
How are you doing?
I'm scared.
Hugo, this is Magister Verdun.
Hello.
Tragic, we didn't get to
Should
see
start
it.
immediately.
He is wearing purple. Good catch.
I will need silence.
I'll handle it.
It is a very good catch. Between the kind of, what, I don't remember the technical term for this. The stole? I think it's the stole. And then the purple. He is framing himself in a very, like, religious and imperial sense at the same time, which is spooky. So, chat, I'm getting bad vibes from him, but he was making a very nice... He was making a very, very nice medieval manuscript. Looked right for the period, maybe later, slightly later in the 14th century, maybe even early 15th century, but gorgeous illuminations. So I'm not sure what I'm sad we weren't able to look at that more. But yes, to finish off the spicy take and then call it a stream. Monica Green has described medieval Europe's reaction to the plague of Justinian as amnesia, in that they do not, unlike the Islamic traditions, which form a series of hadiths about ethical responses to the plague, medieval Europe just, like, forgets all of that and is like, plague didn't happen, it's fine. And so when it rolls around in the 14th century, they kind of freak out, and they figure out very quickly what they're trying to do with it, but at the same time, right, they don't have this memory going back to the plague of Justinian in Western Europe. In the Byzantine Empire, they do. In the Islamic world, they do. But in Latin Christendom, they don't so much. And so, the fact that they're kind of burying this continuity beneath occultism, right, between hidden orders of alchemists who are doing spooky nonsense and are definitely not the good guys, is not a choice I hate. Right, because it recognizes that there is that continuity while also disguising it from the lived experience of 98% of the population. I also say gin personally, by the way, Arachne. Help you recover from the rats with gin or bourbon. I prefer gin. Anyway. That wraps up our stream for the day. What an excellent first stream. We got through the first 2 chapters. We're making good time. We only did some murder. You know, good talks, good murder, good Byzantine mosaics in southern France. Big thanks, as always, to our patrons who make this possible. If you want to join them, do consider heading over to Patreon and helping support the channel. There's a lot to look forward to in the next couple months. This is a great time to dive in and support the channel. So if you're interested, that is greatly appreciated. We will be back later in the week. I think maybe not until Saturday. Yeah, we'll probably hit up Cult of the Lamb this weekend. But I'll post the schedule in the Discord before too much longer. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. This has been a Plague Tale Requiem. And yeah, until next time, adieu.